welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, that is the R in the Arcade Stumbling Bear, and I am a reader and a writer. And today I'm here to do my suggestions and my possible TBR for the new Releasathon that is going to be in the month of August. And linked down below is the announcement video for me and my 4 co-hosts, which are Kristen over at Kristen Nell SFF Reader, Angela at the Science and Literature Alliance, Shannon for That's So Poe, and Reija at the Bookfinch. For my suggestions and possible TBR, these are books I have not read, but that I am interested in reading. I wanted to say that up front, and I have it divided into like 3 different sections. I have the high probability, which means I either have a physical copy of on my shelf currently, an ebook arc, or it's waiting for me to pick up the library tomorrow. And then I have the it's possible, which means I could have it in from the library. I'm not certain. And then low probability, which means it doesn't matter if I have it in from the library. If I have one of all these other books in front, those are going to have my interest. Or I don't think I'm going to get it in from the library. And I kind of have them loosely ranked of what I'm going to be focusing on first. I will be showing the bingo board to help frame what the prompts are for each one. So for high probability, first I have The Notorious Sorcerer by Davina Evans, and I am awful that I do not remember what this is about, just that it was interesting. So it goes for a book I have not heard about. It's a title without articles, new to me author. According to the synopsis, it has the LGBTQ plus rep, non-US author, and it's a debut. Then I have Eclipse the Moon, which is a sequel to Hunt the Stars by Jesse Mihalik. I haven't heard anyone talk about this one. It's supposed to be a genre bender, sci-fi romance, and I just finished the first book in July, so definitely it does fall under that genre bendiness. I then have A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I haven't really heard anyone talk about this. This came out at the beginning of the year. It's a new to me author, and it seems to be like a literary contemporary fantasy. I wasn't 100% certain. I then have Removable Echo by Anne Sophie. Now this was a fun one to find because I was on an AuthorTube writing stream, and the author was talking about how her 3rd book was coming out in July, so she had made her first book free on Amazon, so I went and downloaded it, and when I looked it up, found out that it had been published in May. So it is a new release for this year, and it's a self-pub author. Then I have Tiger Honor by Yoon Halley. This is the sequel to Dragon's Pearl, but not following Min's perspective. It's following a different perspective. And then I have A Magic Steeped in Poison, which this cover is gorgeous. I think it's the prettiest cover I have seen this year. It seems to be like a fantasy. I also have The Way Spring Arrives and Other Stories, and then these are a collection of stories from female and non-binary creators that are translated. So they've been translated into English. And if you read the whole collection, that would follow for the short story anthology. So just looking at my high probability, this is how my bingo board looks currently. I haven't yet watched my fellow hosts' recs, so I don't know if any of these are one of the ones they have recommended or not. I haven't decided on a magazine or a novella. So I have most of my board filled, because you remember you can use a book for more than one prompt. For It's Possible, starting off with Terminal Peace. This is the 3rd book in the Janitors of the Post-Apocalypse trilogy, and it's the last one as well. Comes out in August, which is why it's possible, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it in August. Then I have Bluebird by Cécile Perlot. This is, from what I understand, is a space opera. I've only heard one person talk about it. January 15th by Rachel Swirsky. I've heard multiple people talk about it, and it's kind of following the concept of universal income, and it just sounds really interesting. Now this is a novella, so if I could get a hold of it, that would take care of that. Then Anatomy by Dana Schwartz. Unlike how everything else has really been more science fiction, this is a historical fiction, fantasy kind of story, which is not something I typically read, but it sounded fascinating. And it's about a young woman who wants to be a doctor, and there's a mystery involved. Then I have Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, which is more of a dark fairy tale fantasy-esque story. Only a Monster by Vanessa Lynn, which I haven't heard anybody talk about, but if I remember the synopsis correctly, it's about a young woman who moves to a new location, makes a new friend, and then finds out that they are a monster hunter and their goal is to kill her because she's actually a monster. The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axio. I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and I've seen many different covers that have all been beautiful. Electra by Jennifer Saint. And this is a retelling kind of focusing on different Greek or women in Greek myths. All My Rage by Saba Tahir. So this again is not fantasy or science fiction by general. It's like half historical and half contemporary. So that's why I have the genre bender mark. For low probability, like for this first one, A Prayer for the Crown Shy, I'm number 12 on my library hold. So this is definitely a sequel that I am interested in. Legends and Lattes, again, has a long wait list at my library, and I've heard wonderful things about this. So really looking forward to whenever I do get this. Kaikei by Vaishnavi Patel. Heard wonderful things about this one, and I'd love to be able to read it. Again, long wait at the library. Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. And I am really enjoying reading more books with Asian mythology and Asian fantasy, especially written by those of Asian descent. This is definitely a good book for that. Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I'm kind of hit or miss with V.E. Schwab, but this one kind of has a weird interest for me. I've heard people talk about it, and I'm like, okay, I'd like to at least try this one out. The School for Good Mothers by Jessamine Chan. So I actually have this on my bookshelf right now, but based off of everything else I have, that's why it's a low probability. It wasn't one that originally I gravitated to, but it did make Goodreads like midsummer list of what's popular that people are reading. And so I have it, and it's a maybe. If you have been here for a while, you know that I am a mood reader. What do you think I will read in August? And what do you think I should prioritize? Do you think I should move something from my It's Possible list up to high probability? Let me know down below in the comment. Thank you, and have a good day.